You ever been in a conversation and just got a weird vibe? Like the words were perfectly fine, but something felt off. Well, that feeling, that's the unspoken message. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, the incredibly powerful silent language that can say so much more than words ever could.
Let's kick things off with a fundamental truth about how we communicate. The thing is, if your words are saying one thing, but your body is screaming something else, people will almost always believe what they see, not what they hear. Seriously, getting this one idea is a total game changer. It forces you to stop focusing just on what you say and start thinking about how you're saying it.
All right, let's jump right into our first big idea, the unspoken message.
And this really gets to the heart of why that opening quote is so true. You see, study after study shows that we humans we trust nonverbal signals more than verbal ones. It's not about the logic of what you're saying, it's about the feeling you give off. And that's a huge mental shift for most of us when we think about communication, right?
Okay, so if these nonverbal signals are so darn important, what are they? Let's break down exactly what your body is saying.
So, what are we actually talking about here? Well, it's a whole bunch of things. We're talking your posture, the gestures you're making, the eye contact you give or don't give. It's your facial expressions, the very tone of your voice, your appearance, even your timing. Think about it. You can say the nicest words in the world, but if your arms are crossed tightly, what's the message people really get? Right, defensiveness. The point is, we are constantly broadcasting these signals.
And this leads to a really interesting question, doesn't it? What about when you're not saying anything at all? What's your silence sending? Because even doing nothing is a form of communication. A well-timed pause, that can signal confidence and deep thought, but an awkward, long silence, that creates tension. The key takeaway here is that you are always communicating, even when you're not saying a word.
So, how does all of this actually work? Are there rules? You bet. Let's talk about the unspoken rules of non-speech.
All right, the first rule is so simple, but it's also kind of profound. And it's this: nonverbal communication never stops. It's continuous. You can decide to stop talking, sure, but you can't just turn off your body language. From the second someone lays eyes on you, your posture, your expression, they're sending out signals, whether you intend them to or not. Now, the second rule is absolutely critical to remember. It's all culturally specific. What works in one place might totally backfire in another. Take eye contact, for example. In the US, looking someone directly in the eye usually signals confidence, honesty. But in some other cultures, that exact same direct stare can come across as aggressive or even disrespectful. Same action, completely different message. It all depends on where you are.
Okay, so we've got a handle on the what and the how. So now let's get practical. Let's talk about why all of this is the secret to winning trust.
I mean, really, why does any of this matter in the real world, like in sales or customer service? Well, it matters because every single one of those interactions is built on a foundation of trust. And you better believe that your customers are constantly reading your nonverbal cues to figure out if you're someone they can actually believe.
So you want to build that trust. Here are 3 incredibly simple things you can do before you even say hello. First, a genuine, friendly smile. It signals warmth, it signals safety. Second, an open posture. Uncross those arms. It tells people you're open and receptive. And third, use attentive body language. Leaning in just a little shows you're actually engaged and listening. These tiny things, they create an instant foundation of trust.
But, and this is a huge but, let's talk about the flip side, because this is a really critical warning. Bad nonverbal signals can completely torpedo a sale. I don't care how perfect your pitch is or how amazing your product is. If your body language is shouting, "I'm bored," or "I don't even believe what I'm saying," guess what? That is the message your customer is going to hear loud and clear. All right, let's wrap this all up with the big final takeaway. When it comes down to it, actions really do speak louder.
Look, if you remember only one thing from our time together, let it be this. You have got to pay just as much attention to how you look and sound as you do to the words that you're saying. For your message to truly land, for it to be effective, everything has to be in sync. The words and the music. In the end, it all just comes back to that timeless piece of wisdom: actions speak louder than words. So the final question isn't just about what your actions are saying about you right now. It's about what message you're going to choose to send tomorrow.